Okay, everybody ready to go? Oh, there's Mark. Okay. All right, welcome back, everybody. We're going to go ahead and come back into session for our Monday, April 8th briefing of the Mason County Commission. We're going to move forward into the briefing from the Sheriff's Office. Lieutenant Trevor Severance, please. Hi, Lieutenant.
Morning, Commissioners. How are you?
Incredible.
So, as we briefed this once before, a month or so ago, about the command post vehicle and the equipment for it, and I was asked to go see what else we could find before I came back to revisit, and I'm back as we discussed. Where we ended up, I was able to sharpen my pencil on a few things, found some radios that we need that we already own, which reduces some of the cost. I have two grants that we applied for, one of them for $14,000 and one of them for $37,000. However, I don't know. The $14,000 one looks promising. It's the standard EMPG grant that we, and there's a portion of it that's dedicated for law enforcement stuff. So I'm not too concerned about that one per se, but that won't become a reality till later in the year. And the $37,000 grant was an EMPG grant that was leftover money from 2022, where they repooled everything and then asked for resubmissions, that was asked for the big communications interoperability system that is a key component of this. So I wanted to come back and update you guys on that. And we're still looking for some money. If I have everything that if I get those two grants, I'm at about $49,000 plus the cost to install everything. I'm working on an appointment to take the truck over and get it looked at to have all the installation stuff done. So that's kind of where we're at on this project. Not finding a whole lot of extra money out there in other places. But we do have those two grants out. So.
Thank you. Commissioners, Commissioner Schutte, what do you think?
Lieutenant, if you'd mentioned it and I missed it, I'm sorry. Did you know when the grants would be available?
Mid-year-ish, if we'll find out if we got them or not. I asked Tammy at DEM. She said mid to later in the year, they'll know for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm kind of confident on the EMPG grant for 37, just based on the fact that there was less than a week turnaround on it, and I was able to get something in there. So hopefully I beat everybody else to the punch, but we'll see.
Mr. Trask?
I could find my unmute button. And I'm so happy that you reached out to DEM to get some help with this, because I think it's a joint venture, or is it an adventure?
Well, to that point as well, we've had some conversations and there may have been a little more money available. However, DEM asked for a letter from the sheriff declaring it a shared asset, and it will be a shared asset. That's not a problem. But in the spirit of how we received it from Charlie's vision, we don't feel that we can just go and say, yeah, it's for everybody, when it was donated for us for a particular purpose. We've committed to everybody that it will be available when people need it. But we just, in the spirit of what the community did for us, we didn't feel it was right to give away what they did for the sheriff's office.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think ultimately it's still county property, and we all work together well, I think, anyway.
Certainly, and we've made that pledge, and we're just not going to do it in writing.
Right. So you're asking, let me just clarify, you're asking us to pay the remaining, which would be the $48,392.74.
Plus the installation, whatever the installation is on all the electronics, and I don't know what that is yet. Everybody's really backed up, and trying to get an appointment is pretty difficult. So I'm working on that diligently. So yes, the remaining, if we get the grants, that's kind of my big if, is I don't count those chickens yet, but so yeah. I mean, if
That's
we
so
could,
funny.
if we're confident that we think the grants are going to come through, I would ask you to front it the whole thing and then we'd get it back. But I honestly, I don't put a lot of faith in the feds being reasonable sometimes.
Right. I laugh because we were just talking about chickens here. When you brought that up, that was
Well, it's kind of my wheelhouse. I've got a bunch of them at the house. So
we have a few too.
yeah, whatever, again, like we originally talked, whatever the county commission feels that they can support, we'll take it and we'll keep plugging away to try to find the rest. But money's
Trevor?
tight. Yes, sir.
Can I maybe couch this in a different way and see if the commissioners agree with it this way?
It's your couch, boss. Do it however you
Yeah.
want.
Okay. What I'm wondering is, if I look at it as this is your request for these items, regardless of how the other goes, which is what this is, it's easier to just accept it and swallow it, in my opinion. This is not built on whether the other ones get financed. This is your request that we cover this. I want to ask you one other thing, though. If we just decided to cover this amount of basically 50,000, do you think that you could secure the upfit through your own budget, through the help of Charlie's Vision, or any other aspect?
I would have to have that conversation with the undersheriff, as far as where we might be able to get that. If you're looking for just what's my ask would be roughly, well, with the changes, about 110 we originally asked for 120. 110 would cover everything, even if we didn't get the grants. So that's my true ask, but I'll take what I can get.
So I'm okay at the 50 for now, and then I think waiting to see how everything shakes out with the grants, obviously. And then we can go from there, I guess.
Commissioner Trask?
Yeah, so that 50, I'm wondering if because we do have ARPA funds, could we use some of those?
We could choose to.
I'd be very comfortable using the ARPA funds for this.
Do you think it's appropriate to do it outside of the process? Mark, you got your hand up?
Thanks, Commissioner. I was thinking the same lines as Commissioner Trask, is that we could throw this into the other items that we've received in requests for ARPA. It does fall beneath the $75,000, so you guys kind of set as a expectation for people to turn things in, and so I'm hopeful within the next couple of weeks we can actually have those discussions and evaluate this along with everything else. So maybe Commissioner Netherland, that may make you feel a little bit better that it's actually going through the process of along with everybody else that's requesting ARPA funds.
Well, I'm okay with paying for it out of the general fund, but I like the idea of paying for it at ARPA, but there's a second option in the ARPA. We also had that second line where we have some of the projects that we were doing in-house that we were looking to replace with in-house. Then that wouldn't have to go through the process. Do you remember the yellow?
Mm-hmm.
If we were to use this as an exchange for 50,000 out of the yellow, then it comes out of ARPA and it doesn't have to go through that other process. And it helps to lower the amount that we have to shift over.
And we could consider that when you look at the rest of the requests also.
Okay, so I don't know. So where's everybody at on this? We want to separate it out and have it go through the process. Do we want to just have it as an interchange for the part that was in yellow with the monies that we're already going to be changing out and funding out of the general fund? But it can be funded out of that. Or is there a third option that I haven't seen?
I was willing to pay for this out of general fund. If it comes out of ARPA, I think it should go through the process like everybody else.
Okay.
So I'm all for simplicity and expediency with this. So, but I'll defer to what the sheriff's office thinks is their pain tolerance for filling out ARPA forms.
Well, again, I'm comfortable with it coming out of the general fund as well. It doesn't have to do the ARPA, but I think we can actually pay for it, even though we're doing the general fund, by using the yellow slide. This way, it literally still gets paid for the same way out of the general fund, but it's being exchanged with ARPA funds coming in. Commissioner Trask.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it coming out of general. I know ARP is a pain in the rear. So
But if it can be paid out of the yellow slide, you're comfortable with that too, on the ARPA funds? Remember, there was two parts, the part for the going out to the public and the other part that we had internal. Oh, here she is.
I was hoping she'd pop on.
Talk to us, Jennifer.
Morning. Yeah, thank you. I didn't want to overstep. Yeah, we have at least 80,000 available out of the fiber project that's running through IT with Hood Canal Communications. We should have at least 80. That would be a good place for this to come out of, I'm thinking, or if you wanted to go through the process. I mean, to me, it seems like a really good ARPA project since the funds can be spent this year. So it wouldn't be, dragging on for a couple of years. So
That 80,000, that was on the yellow side, right? You already had that set on the yellow?
correct. Yes, it wasn't in the green finished projects. It was in the not completed projects, but we're fairly positive that 80,000 will be available on that project.
So with that being said, I'd be comfortable with going out of the general fund, but looking to have it funded out of the yellow ARPA.
I'd go for the orange ARPA.
Remember, I'm partially colorblind, but yeah, we were arguing whether it was orange or yellow. Commissioner Schutte, are you interested in paying out of the general fund, but going after the funds out of the orange or yellow ARPA line that was internal?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I think we have agreement. Lieutenant, if you wouldn't mind, write it up, send it over to us, so we can go ahead and get it on an agenda.
Certainly. The rainbow conversations got me a little confused, so I'll talk to Jen first and
Yeah.
sort out what you want me to write up, and we'll get it there.
When you see the color, you help tell me, was it yellow or was it orange? Because it's the question. Jennifer's got you though. She got a thumbs up.
I appreciate that very much, but I'll let you know what color it is and report back, Commissioner.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you all. Appreciate
Yep.
it.
Quick question, commissioners.
Go ahead, Mark.
Was it for $50,000?
That's what I understood. I'm seeing the head shake from Commissioner Trask.
Yep.
Commissioner Schutte, was it 50?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask
Okay.
for.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it very much.
Anything else for the sheriff's department while you have them online?
Nope.
Then thank you very much, Trevor. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, next up, I have, I already see his face, so I know it's him, Public Health, Dave Windom. Welcome.
Good morning, commissioners. So one quick one today. What we have is some unspent money from Commerce coming to us to be passed through to the Community Action Council. So this is unspent funds, kind of happens this time of year as the state consolidates funding that hasn't been spent and then reallocates it.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in on that one. I got to ask a question. Currently, a little bit ago, I had called you to ask you because we have a food pantry in Belfair that has not been getting their funding. I don't know if that's been fixed or not. And I contacted you about that, and we had no control at the time. I also want to throw out there that there may have been some issues. I don't know how to say it. And I want to know if there's any heartburn with any of this from a commissioner standpoint because of past arguments. Well, there's another option, just waiting and looking at other things and sitting down and talk to David, see if that is the only option.
So this is to pay May and June rent,
Right.
right?
Yep. So it looks like the process to me has been that Commerce had unallocated funds. Community Action Council asked for 215,000 to complete May, June. And then their fiscal year starts again July 1.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with going forward with the 215,000 because this is coming from Commerce and they do have the contract with Commerce for this part. But I would like you sent me a message earlier today. Take a look at that and let's find out why.
Right.
And also, while you're using that conversation, I would like to make sure and find out if they're leaving our places out and not taking care of them, if that's the new wave also.
Right.
Commissioner Shooty, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm fine with that direction. I think, the other part of it is, cultivating new partners to do some of this work as well, long term. I don't know, we've been talking about that for quite a while. I know that we're not the only county to have issues with Community Action Council and their process or their way of doing business, so to speak. And so, I think we got to get to the end of this contract. And I think at the same time, we need to also be thinking about alternatives, especially if we're no longer given a seat on that board. I'm a lot less comfortable continuing in a partnership with them, given all the other things that have gone on with the organization.
I'm gonna ditto. Because of the chair, I was trying to be a little bit more eloquent. Commissioner Shooty, you were perfectly eloquent and made the point of how I feel. So, Commissioner Trask, are you comfortable with all that as well?
Yeah, I look forward to the end of the contract.
Okay. Dave, are we clear enough
Yep.
for you?
Yep. So in fact, I was on their website this morning doing some research and taking notes. So
Dave, do you think it's possible to come back to us in May with a plan to consider for alternatives to Community Action Council?
it'd probably be end of May. It's most of the rest of the month. I'm on vacation. So, but when I come back, yes. So, I mean, there's some things we can consider. We could break out certain pieces of it, so the LIHEAP, the low income housing weatherization plan, that could be split off from what we're doing with the rental assistance. So I think there's different ways we could go.
I'd be comfortable and wait until the end of May, maybe June 1, as long as we actually had the options to take action. Commissioner Trask, how do you feel?
I think I've been fairly open with my concerns about CAC and how they're Dave, just out of curiosity, and because I haven't looked at their website but do they have, so as a board, they're required to have a certain number of electeds, a certain number of other people? How many people do they have on their board right now?
So right now they have 4 people on the board. They have 2 from the represented populations. There's another category, and they have 0 from electeds from either Mason, Thurston, or Lewis County.
Well, then, if that's in their bylaws and that's in their structure, how can they function? How can we give them money? How can we give them money knowing that they have a non-functioning, non-legally functioning board?
I guess my biggest concern is making sure that the clients are given what they're supposed to be given, and being the purpose of CAC is to help people. And so I want to make sure that they are helping people that need the help.
Well, I will say this, in conversations with my crew, it looks like they're one of the better ones as far as documenting and reporting what they've been doing. So their reports are coming in pretty clean. And we haven't been having the issues we have had with other organizations, but we have no representation on the board at this point. And I don't see that changing in the near future because it does require electeds, as I was going through the website this morning. So it's not like you could appoint someone else to be in that position. It has to be an elected.
again, for me, I'm talking liability. Do we take on liability if we knowingly contribute to this, knowing that they are outside of the? Now I want to drink something. Everybody's taking a drink at the same time.
Well, I did document my concern.
Yeah.
So that is making sure that Mason County was protected. I documented that to Commerce, that they were not compliant with their own bylaws.
Right.
Yeah, Mark, if you wouldn't mind, though, ask our attorney on that one, just to see if there's any liabilities for us if we continue to contribute to them, knowing they're outside of the bylaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's been said now in this meeting, therefore, we've just been on notice, all of us, that we are possibly contributing to something that is not in its legal form anymore. But for this moment, moving forward, we're still in the same place, and Dave is ready to bring it forward to us, right?
Yep.
What else you got?
That is it.
Does anybody have anything for Dave? Thank you, Dave. Have a great one.
Hey, thanks.
All right, next up, I have community development in Kell, Rowen. Hi, Kell.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, I've got quarterly updates, starting with SmartGov. And last quarter, I think we had 11 of our 68 permit types completely cleaned up. Now we have 44. So the SmartGov team, there's a small team of the permit techs and Julie, who's our SmartGov lead, and someone from the building department, and occasionally Public Works and Environmental Health. They meet weekly, and they have really done a lot of work and have gotten 33 additional permits completely cleaned and ready. On this Wednesday, there's a small team that is going to walk through the citizen portal so that we understand what it looks like from the citizen side when they go in to apply online. We do have, I think there's 17 permit types that are available to apply for online, but they're typically the smaller kind of over-the-counter permits, re-roofs, mechanical, plumbing, burn permit, etc. So they're going to go through the citizen portal, understand what that looks like, and then we are going to try and get manufactured homes and garages ready and available on the portal in June. And so I'm also, after I do the quarterly updates, I'll be talking about an all-day all-staff meeting at the end of this month, and the entire team will be going through that and looking to see what we need to get ready to launch those permits. And then once that's successful, then we could just start rolling out additional permits now that the majority of them are cleaned up. So that's that. So that's really good progress, and it's cool to see the teams working together, and staff is understanding the system better, helps them explain to the customers better on, especially if things go wrong or something is kind of funky. So any questions on SmartGov?
Commissioners? Nope, go ahead, Kel.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next one is our appointment system. So of course, for those permits that you still need to come in and have an appointment and submit your building permit, we have an appointment system, and that has been clunky in the past. But that's, and I think, I can't remember, but I think the last quarter when I updated, we were having a issue with folks because it was so far out to get an appointment. People were anticipating getting their appointment, and then when it came time, they weren't ready yet. So it was kind of clogging it up. And so that's been worked through. We do have 4 permit techs, which has helped, because when we were down to 2, that was really causing us problems. So now that we're fully staffed there, it has been going smooth. And even with the code change that occurred on March 15th, there was a you know, a rush to get all those 2018 codes, or those permits in under the 2018 code. Now we're under the 2021 code. But now we're freed back up. So if you need an appointment to submit, you can do that. I believe even this week there's availability and it's open. So that is a positive note since last quarter. And we've also updated our website to make it clear that people could walk in for questions at any time that we're open for business. So they don't need an appointment. We think some people were making appointments just to come in, kind of ask questions pre-submittal. So hopefully that'll help clarify some things. Any questions on submittals?
Commissioners? Nothing?
And then on our average permit times, I'm going to show a graph. If I could find it here. Okay, you see that? So this is from January of 22 through March of 24. Kind of looks like Bitcoin's price action from the week before last. But let's see, we started using the stop clock in August of 23. And that's right around here. And staff is still learning. I think we're more consistent in doing that than when we started using it. And the stop clock, again, that's for when, you know, we're in the review process and then we're waiting for the customer. We've notified the customer that they need additional information. And so we've reached out to them and then we'll put the permit on hold so that it's just reflecting the time that we're spending in review. And that will help us for 2025 when the state will start requiring that we meet certain mandates of time turnaround. And so we'll be able to track it using that stop clock. So that's been good. And we're hovering around 40 days. That might go up a bit in the next month or so because we did have a influx of permits at the end or at mid-March because of that code change. But we think we'll, you know, get through it pretty quickly. And my goal has been, you know, if we have an 8 to 10 week turnaround time, that's a good staffing level. So we're definitely meeting that. And if things spike up, you know, we'll look at staffing or is there an efficiency problem or what have you. So any questions on that before I stop sharing?
Doesn't look like it. You're good to go.
Okay. And let's see, what else do I have? Oh, the scanning project. So the ARPA, or our scanning, we're just over a year into it now. And they've gone through like 85 boxes, nearly 90 boxes. Most of those have been scanned and then they're tossed, and a handful of them will be archived with the state or stay on place. We've gotten rid of 5 of those large, wide format 4-drawer file cabinets and 2 of the tall, narrow ones. And so we're creating space over here, which is great. And we are looking to hire another part-time permanent person to just help expedite that process because we're looking at the space that it is creating. And yeah, it's motivating us. So that's it on that. And any questions? Then I'll move on to a budget amendment. So request for, see that Kathy put this together for me. So we're looking for a public hearing on May 21st for a budget amendment for the growth management comp plan update grant, and which includes the climate planning grant and ILA with the city of Shelton, because there's going to be some overlap with our countywide planning policies and some housing issues. And so the city of Shelton will be reimbursing us for a portion of that work. So are there any questions on that?
I'm not seeing any.
Yep. And I think I have one last thing is, yep, just, every 6 months trying to do an all day, all staff meeting. The last one we had was here in this building and that worked out really well. So asking again for Tuesday, April 30th to close to the public. And I attached a draft agenda. So the morning all staff will be working together on some items. And then in the afternoon, we'll be breaking out. So the permit techs and planning will be meeting together while building does some of their training. And then in the later afternoon, vice versa, building and the permit techs will meet while planning does some training, and clerical will have their own work. So we'll stay here on Tuesday, the 30th, and just asking permission from the board to be able to close to the public that day.
Any comments on that, Commissioner Sheedy?
All good with me.
Mr. Trask?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay,
There you go.
and that's it.
Any questions or comments for Kell? All right. Thank you, Kell. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
All right. Next up, we are moving into Public Works. Loretta.
Good morning.
Good morning, Loretta.
We've got kind of a quickie agenda this morning. A letter of thanks and a letter of recognition. One to our 35th delegation and one to Republic Services for their solid waste services for 30 plus years. So we're asking commission approval to sign these two letters.
So just so the other commissioners know, I did try to reach out to Steve to ask if there was something that would help them in the future to be included, and I never heard back. So are you guys comfortable with presenting them the way they are?
I am. I would just maybe work on the formatting of both so that we can get signature lines up on the
Same page.
yeah, just kind of
Keep her to one.
yeah. It's easy
Sounds
that way.
good.
Yeah, and then I think for the I'm good. Those are great.
Commissioner Trask?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Okay.
That's good.
Perfect. And thank you to Mark. And Mark, I forget who all else helped with the district delegation letter, but definitely appreciate the help on that.
And then would we be trying to sign these tomorrow? Is that what you said, Commissioner?
I didn't say that, but Loretta, is that what you're asking for?
Sure, we can get that done and turned around if you'd like to.
Well, I don't know that we have to because do
Oh,
we have any?
I'm sorry. As far
hold
as
on.
put it on the action
Yeah,
agenda tomorrow.
if you're needing it on there, other than that, do we have anything else that we've asked Mackenzie to adjust? Remember, I'm right out. She's right outside my door. I have to go past her.
Well, and if they're not, if we don't have to have them out
Yeah.
this week, then I think she would probably appreciate, and whoever is doing the formatting might appreciate the extra time as well. Plus, we have quite a bit on the agenda after our meeting tomorrow.
Okay, are we comfortable then just holding off and just okaying it to go on the next agenda?
Fuck me.
Yep, looks like it.
All
What
right,
else you got for us, Loretta?
great. Mike may have a quickie update on the SR 302 lighting, and let me see, maybe Mike's, yep, he is, okay.
Yeah, we just got got information back from the PUD. They said the gentleman said he was on vacation, and so he hasn't responded to us quickly enough. But yes, they will be moving forward with that. They were concerned about the pole height and making sure clearance is what they were looking at. So,
Okay.
so it is going to happen.
And are we also going forward with looking at wheelwright?
Yes, we have our utility guy on that.
Thank you. All right, anything for Loretta? Hearing none, thank you guys very much. Have a great day.
I couldn't get to my unmute.
Never mind. Hold on, Loretta.
I'm hanging on.
Yeah, hanging on by the edge of your seat. So just wanted to see if we had any progress on the Island Lake survey that went out, and just are we getting responses, or how long is that? Is it still? I'm sure we're getting responses. But just wanted to see how long you were going to keep that open, and if you needed anything else from me on that.
Yeah, we've trickled off on our response rate. I think we're just under 80 responses. So that's a pretty healthy, healthy reply. And we've been summarizing, and right now I believe that Cobry, Dave, and team and Mike are putting together some options and basically summarizing the responses and some potential solutions. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. I think we were hoping to bring that back to commission next week.
Yep. Great. That's fantastic. Well, I think that's really good. A really good response from the community. So appreciate you working on that.
It is. Thank you for helping get that out.
All right. Anything else for Loretta? Thank you, Loretta. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Next up, Mark, Support Services.
Thank you, Commissioner. I got Mary to talk a little bit about our volunteer policy.
Well, sorry, I'm on the phone with IT. Chris, I'll call you back. Sorry, I was in the middle of getting something fixed on my computer, and IT so quick to call me back because they're awesome. For the volunteer policy, this is a new policy that we'd like to put forward, and this was a really good kind of group effort between RISC, a lot of the departments who have volunteers, and we've just had some kind of different ways of doing business. So trying to create some consistency countywide, and then, you know, our volunteers are a really valuable resource. So we want to streamline and create some efficiency around this. And so just looking for a resolution to be moved forward. Doesn't have to be this week, could be next time. We're not in a rush. And institute this policy countywide.
Questions, comments? See one thumb? Yep.
Yeah, this looks good to me.
Same here. Let's move forward with it, Mary.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty, Nicole, are you out there for our defense and indemnification request?
Yeah, hi, good morning. So I just requesting or putting on that we have an employee that has requested defense and indemnification per our policy. So that's what I put forward today.
Good with me.
Okay. Okay. You got 3.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yep.
Thanks, Nicole. Last item on there is a request. Commissioner Netherland submitted this last week to me. This is another letter of support for the Sweetwater Creek Water Wheel Park project. I know that we discussed this last year. This is something that the commissioners signed on to and supported last year. There is some concern, and we have a constituent that's reached out to us concerned about maybe how it was written up and some information included in it in terms of whether it is accurate or not. And so I don't know any of those details, and so I just wanted to come back to the board and see if you guys were comfortable with moving forward with another letter of support this year.
So about 1 week ago, an employee from the Salmon Center had called and asked if we'd be interested in perhaps moving forward with this, as all the other letters of support, they're all going to the same place at the same time. So that's why all of these are coming forward. This is just an update on the ones that we've already moved forward on.
Did they get funded at all last year?
I don't believe so.
I don't know of any. And again, I haven't followed it probably like I should, but I don't know of any funding that they've received. I think this is just a letter, especially that's going to our federal contingency, I understood. But it's probably for everybody.
So yeah, I mean, there's been concerns about this project for a while. I'm comfortable moving it forward to an agenda and at least being open to taking public comment on it and moving forward in that direction.
Commissioner Trask?
Yeah, I'd be comfortable moving it forward, but I would like to hear from those that have expressed some concern with it. just to make sure that, because I know that they've changed their plan of how they're going to do it as well. So, yeah, we could move it forward, but, and then we can make, that way I can make a better informed decision on this.
So I'm supportive of the same. We'll invite the parties, those for and against. I was just reading some emails just now in regards to it. So this will give an opportunity to testimony on both sides. I do know for myself, I'm very supportive of Park in Belfair. And I want to share with Commissioner Trask and stuff. We went out for a walk and we looked, and we know that actually in Belfair, we don't have much in the way of a park. I did talk to that property owner that the commissioner said talked about contacting. I just literally I talked to the person's realtor, but never talked to them until just like 2 weeks ago, and they are not interested in expanding that other park. They have other designs for their property. Just to let you know. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put it on the agenda and allow the public to comment on it at that time, Mark.
Alrighty. And so is there a timeline associated with this one, Randy? Do I need to get it on the agenda for tomorrow, or is this something that I could put on the 20?
Sadly, I don't know.
20.
Commissioner Schutte, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, who is the Port of Allen the prime sponsor on this, or are they still the project sponsor? Or
I believe that they're the project sponsor working with the Salmon Center. The call I received was actually from the Salmon Center, but I was at a port meeting and everybody still seemed to be on board with moving forward.
Yeah, I think too. I mean, if we can, I mean, we just passed on adding 2 other letters to the agenda tomorrow. So if we can do this at the next meeting after tomorrow, then that's probably ideal to give everybody to be present if they want to be present.
Yeah, I did not receive a specific request that it be on immediately, so I'm in the same position. We haven't changed our agenda. I'd really like to give Mackenzie a week without changing the agenda.
We're so close.
I know.
I will put that on the April 23rd agenda, and I will let those individuals know that have reached out that it will be discussed on April 23rd, and they can request to have it pulled out for public comment.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know how it's changed. I know how it was the original plans, but it would be nice to know what changes they're planning on making. And I know that, gosh, the ports has been through such a flux here lately that I want to make sure that they can take this on as well.
Yeah. And I have not seen the change either. It does make sense. So if we're going to do a letter of recommendation, if there is a big significant change that occurred, that somebody should send us that before we make a decision too. So can you please also ask the participants to send us any changes that have occurred?
I've got that noted here, and I will reach out. I'm assuming I'm going to reach out to the Mandy Harlow at the Salmon.
I would think that, and Travis at the Port of Allen.
Okay. I don't know that I have Travis's contact information, Randy. So
I will give it to you.
That'd be great.
Yep, I'll give it to you before I leave. The Port of Allen is doing exceptionally well, by the way. Very proud of them. They did their budget. They found and located all the dollars and were the debts and put everything back together again. Imagine going through that, losing the people that were doing everything. But they've rebuilt. A lot of credit has to go to 2 people, Travis, the interim director, and Jeff Carey. Jeff Carey stood tall with them and with all of us and helped go through that budget and the water plants and everything to rebuild it. So the community literally pulled together. Proud of them. All right, what else we got?
That's all I had for you today.
Okay, I'm waiting for the next one. Madam Commissioner.
All right, so I'm so super excited about this one. We got a letter from.
I hate to admit it, I am too, dang it. I don't believe in this kind of stuff. To do things from government, but doggone it, this is, go for it, hit it.
All right, so the students of Lincoln Elementary from Hoquiam, Washington sent us a letter. We received it on April 3rd. The letter is so cute. It's just, and Danielle read it. And if I could have Danielle read it right now, I would, but she'd probably be embarrassed. But this letter is so cute. The students of Miss Andrews' class wrote asking us to, I think you all got copies of the letter. You know what? I'm going to read it.
Go
So
for
it
it.
says, Dear Commissioners, we are the students of Miss Andrews' class in 5th grade at Lincoln Elementary School in Hoquiam, Washington. The reason we are writing this letter to you is because we believe that Mason County should have laws to protect Bigfoot. Firstly, Bigfoot might be endangered, though we're not sure. We can still try to help. For example, helping the environment in general. Another example would be if you are in a county that has less sightings of Bigfoot, perhaps you could pass these laws to help Bigfoot stay safe. Another reason Mason County should have laws is, what if Bigfoot is harmless? Bigfoot could just be another animal wanting to survive like anyone else. Sure, if we attack it, it would probably attack back, but that's just self-defense in general. Any animal would do that, even a bunny. Finally, in Mason County, you have 24 sightings. At least one of those sightings are real, and people saw Bigfoot. There's a reason to protect Bigfoot, so you need laws to help Bigfoot. In conclusion, Whatcom, Skamania, Clallam, Grace Harbor counties already have laws. Will you be the next to protect Bigfoot? Sincerely, students of Miss Andrews' class. I mean, if that doesn't make you just smile and want to help Bigfoot, I don't know what it will take. So I talked to Mackenzie and Danielle and Cammie, and we sent this over to Tim Whitehead to review, and he wrote back. He called back quickly, I think probably within 10 seconds of receiving it. And first he thought it was April Fool's joke, but it wasn't. So anyway, I would love it if we could add this to our agenda, not tomorrow, but our next meeting, and that way Mackenzie doesn't have to change anything. But it doesn't have to be a resolution. It could be a proclamation. It could be whatever you wanted, but I just thought it was really cute. I also sent the letter on to our legislators at the state, asking them if they would consider moving this forward in the next session. So thoughts?
So, Madam Commissioner, as you know, I'm never a fan of separating out certain individuals and groups. I believe in glorifying all of them or none. But I got to tell you, I absolutely love this. And I even think it should be done as a resolution because we are protecting a species or something. I'm supportive of this. Don't be a Grinch. Come on now.
I am supportive as well, under one condition, that Miss Andrews and her class are invited to make testimony on adoption of this resolution. I think if they're going to engage in the civic process, then they need to engage all the way through and come in and make comment as part of the hearing we have to adopt this in a couple of weeks.
I like that idea. And just in case you don't know, we actually have a very world-renowned Bigfoot organization that searches and does trail cams all over the place and has been on different TV shows and different specials and stuff like that right out of Belfair. So, it wasn't me they spotted. It was something else. But with that being said, I'll invite them and see if they want to send somebody also. But I thank you for bringing this forward, Commissioner. I need a smile once in a while. This definitely put a smile on my face.
Oh, I love this. I think it's not often that we can have a little bit of fun. And this is just, you're right. It brought a smile to my face as well.
It's a good thing these kids got to us before the people that want to have us issue hunting licenses for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So
with that, we're going to move forward with that and put it on not this one, but the next agenda, please. Does anybody else have any further commissioner discussion?
How can you follow that?
I can't. Just with a motion.
Move we adjourn.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adjourned here. No objection. We are adjourned. See everybody tomorrow.
All right, thanks.